Everyone has something to share, and either wisdom, story, or logic. And it's clearly amazing to hear all the differing missing links discovered by people unique to their own journeys, and in how they have come to discover them. Together, we can help to build a bigger picture for a better future, for a brighter tomorrow. Let's stand united. Let's remove the veils, and let's create a new world together. Are you that missing link? Join Jesse Hale on the Missing Link Talk Show as he helps to unveil the mystery through the unique wisdom and story of others.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome
What up?
everybody here back to the Missing Link. Today we're excited to talk to someone who's been working as a planetary guardian since DNA activation in 2009. Upon receiving his genetic upgrades, he was granted the ability to communicate with higher selves and interdimensional beings, and he's here to share his story and his passion, his mission here on the Missing Link. Welcome, Rion de Rion.
Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone across planet Earth? Hey, listen, when you read the bio, you can never write a bio for yourself, right? So I have my friends write the bio, and I'm like, that sounds so gnarly. But yeah, it's true, in a different flavor of experience. Yeah, my third eye came on in 2009, so I've been staring through the veil now for a hot minute. And kind of got activated, my higher self started training me, moved out to Sedona in 2010. Been around the world now about 10 times, and just go to different sacred sites and do whatever the collective and our galactic family needs done, and facilitate that the best way I can with my team. I'm a part of a team, and that team is called Team Light. So we're a bunch of X-men and X-women across planet Earth. From all different countries, and we kind of get together, do activations, and we help one another. So that's what we do.
That's amazing. So, what part of the world did you grow up in? You said you're in Sedona now.
Right.
What got you into knowing about, this, activation? Maybe tell us about your activation. How did you get to know about who you are, the powers, that you've been bestowed with, and does everybody maybe have things like that in each and every single one of us?
Well, first and foremost, I was born and raised Manhattan Beach, California, South Bay, baby. You know what it is. And in Southern California, Manhattan Beach. So the whole thing is, I've always known I had gifts when I was younger, but I had to hide it. I didn't know what it was. It's like many star seeds and angelics when they're younger. I had a very powerful intuition. So there's many stories, and I have it. I don't want to get into it now, but when I was like younger, where I would know things before it happened, I could be able to locate someone if they were, lost. I didn't have the address. I could go pick them up, things like that. So, but what really started for me was the journey with really activating my third eye. It did not happen overnight. I believe the summer. Goodness gracious! I woke up in 2001. When I was 19 in Greece. I was in Italy, and then I went to Greece with my friends. I woke up there. It's all documented if you guys go to Unite the Collective on YouTube. But if you got, and then watch the Vegas video when I'm live on stage in Vegas. I think that's the best presentation. I don't want to waste too much time here with that, but that's on Unite the Collective, and then just click on the live Vegas when I was at Disclosure Fest, Stairway to the Stars. But at the end of the day, what is it? My third eye was activated. I did a candle technique. I taught myself this candle technique, and that was the first video I ever loaded to YouTube in 2009. And ever since then, once the powers that were kind of realized who I am, and with our divine frequency signatures, they've been kind of hiding me from the collective and the rest of us. But that's cool. How it goes on FluffTube and whatnot. I'm glad we're on Jesse's platform. But no, man, it's a daily hustle, and and activating your dormant DNA. Everyone wants all their gifts back. What I can say is this: with every single gift that you receive, with every single dormant DNA strand you activate, there's a lesson plan and memories that come with that. And with great power comes great responsibility, right? Like they say. So it's something where, like, check this out. Every single time, once you become of service, I went out to Sedona when my third eye came on. I met with a dude named Toth or Toth. I didn't know who he was, but I later knew he was Toth. Hung out with him. He was about 6'8", glowing blue. He looks Native American, kind of. And if you mix an Egyptian and a Native American together, that's the version I saw. And, I met him out here in Sedona in 2009 when I first woke up. It was basically a lot of training. A lot of people, with me specifically, I wasn't like per se, I didn't wake up, I was activated. There was someone in the collective consciousness that was supposed to have this role that I'm playing right now. And for whatever, I think he was military, secret space program or whatnot, but for whatever reason, I found out this years later, he was compromised. So I was activated and I did not know. I had a 50-50 chance, ladies and gents out there, like, hey, how are you? It's supposed to be this dude, and who are you? Especially all you guys waking up out there. It was a gamble on me. It was a 50-50 roll of the dice. So I can say for a lot of us out there, it really has to do with free will and choice. Do you choose to, serve humanity, or do you choose to serve yourself? Well, as we can see in some of these groups and behind the scenes shenanigans, that many beings on this planet serve themselves, especially the Cabal, the Mossad, goodness gracious, the industrial military complex, all this stuff that's gone on behind the scenes, right? 3-letter agencies, they serve themselves. They're not here to serve us. So in the same way, there are very gifted people in some of these organizations, but again, they're night side and they choose to serve themselves. So to be a true light worker, a light warrior, light healer out there, the main thing is to be able to serve the collective and then, take the slings and arrows that come with that. I know many of you guys out there dealing with the lower astral and dealing with some of these shenanigans that go on in the 4th dimension and above. But it's really just, shining your light and not being able to be purchased. Listen to me very carefully. The strongest of us cannot be purchased. We are priceless, eternal beings having a human experience. We can't be bought. We can't be, manipulated, and we can't be tempted. That is what the big issue with us and why we're a thorn in the side of some of these deals and why we don't do deals with the dark side. Look at Hollywood, okay? Or some of these different groups out here. We all know the CIA created Hollywood in the 60s, if you guys didn't know that. But, the thing is that when you really get to the higher levels of this consciousness and what we're really doing here together, we're here to free humanity from this bondage, from this mental construct, from this belief system, and to truly allow people to step into their hearts, step into their own power, and really free humanity from this mental slavery that we have been under since the mud flood or before. So that's what I like to say about that.
Now, you mentioned, some of the people that have been compromised and bought, some of this dark cabal and stuff, but what about the ones that seem to be in, maybe even the truth movement that seem to, maybe if they're not working for the dark, they may be, having motivation as money opposed to, working for the collective, because we see people, out and about, and we kind of, people all wonder which side they actually are on. Is it self-serving? Is it serving the dark? Or, are they a part of the collective and truly are, balanced in their heart?
Okay, so real cool, calm and casual for all my night side homies out there and light side homies. Check it. I sit in the middle. And let me tell you how this first happened for me. My heart did not activate till 2015. Okay, when I woke up in 2009, I had an Anunnaki 9-foot handler, right? One of my higher selves teach me a bunch of awesome stuff. But I also had my light side angelics monitoring and being with me the whole time. When I woke up, they had to teach me about spiritual combat very quickly. When I first woke up in 2009, I had the Tesla shake for the first 8 months, which means my body would convulse when I went to bed. I would shake. It's because I was getting so many downloads and upgrades to my suit, my density, this density of the physical plane. It couldn't hold the frequency or vibration coming down the pipeline. So I had the Tesla shake for 8 months. And I was doing battle. When I first woke up, ladies and gentlemen, I thought Ascension was fighting. In 2009, all I would do is I was being attacked by angels or dark angels in Los Angeles. They did not want me to wake up. some of us out there, they're very concerned about. It could be you. That as far as a light being, as far as a being like who was sent here by Source Creator to assist a planet, many of us have many different things, and I'm sure you guys can reference many things in your life where you felt like you were taken off course or off path. It could be someone who stepped into your life. It could have been a business thing. It could have been, emotional, whatever it is, addictions. All of these things come in to take you off your path, because here's the truth. They can't directly affect your free will, but they can throw every single distraction at you that you could ever imagine to take you off your path. Okay. So that's what I'd like to say about that. What was the rest of the question, Jesse? Because it was a deep question.
Yeah, just the thoughts about people that, are maybe in the movement that may be compromised, but they act like they're on the side of the light.
Okay, so here's the thing. Back to that thing when my heart turned on in 2015. So for that first 09 to 15, I'm not saying I was night side, but I was definitely operating in a different bandwidth where I was very combative and I had to protect myself, right? It's like almost like going to war. Like you can't be in heart space when you go to war, ladies and gents. So 2015, when my heart turned on, for the first time I felt my inner child and my innocence again since I was like, I don't know, 9 years old, 9 years old. My heart turned back on and my entire frequency changed. And what I can say for a lot of people out there, that there's two things really for me that I can share with you to help you. Maybe you guys have this too. When my heart turned on, I realized that my heart was my governor to my powers, and that your heart or your inner child is literally, allows you to operate down here in this multidimensional simulation in a manner that's not going to create collateral damage or karma. Okay. So that being said, that's a very quick, 2-sentence answer for 15 books worth of information. But for as far as people that are being misled, now you have your light side. Here's my heart. Light side's on your left. Here's my right pectoral, goes up. Night side is on your right. Okay, that's for me. Everyone I know, their heart is on the left. Some people are now being born or have a heart in the middle. This is how I was taught. There's your sternum right here. Every human being has a sternum. If you imagine, that's the bottom of a V or cable system. That cable goes, that's why it's so delicate right here when you touch your sternum. It's like, what is this? On the opposite side of that, there's a cable that runs up all the way up into the sky from your left. And there's one that runs through your right pectoral all the way up into the sky to your right. Now, each of your chakras also have connections, okay? Human beings normally can't see these connections, okay? With a limited light spectrum of bandwidth that a human eyeball or iris can see, it's very small. If you guys don't believe me, look up the visible light spectrum of a human being. It's like we see this much compared to the universe. This is how many light spectrums or bandwidths are, right? So back to people you don't know what's the deal. The main thing is to stare into their eyes, and when they get information or they channel, watch the eyes. Sometimes when people are under night side, functions, their right eye, you'll see it flutter because someone else is behind the scenes going ahead and updating or sending the information through. Okay, so pay attention to the eyes, and so you can smile, even though I don't want to shift into, like I said, I sit in the middle. Okay, sitting in the middle is not easy, ladies and gents. You have to see all the happy stuff and all the weird stuff. Okay, Buddha's path was in the middle, just to be clear if you guys are more into the religious functions, but the middle path is the fastest way up in your ascension, but it's also like you're on a tightrope. Okay, it's very, very difficult. So what I can say for everyone out there is forgive yourself. What I can say is any information that comes through the pipeline that you're channeling is coming through, run that information down into your heart, feel it, and then go ahead and kick it back up and then speak it. If you start using your heart as a second, filter to make sure whatever you're sharing, whatever controls are, just pay attention to that. Another thing too that happens with a lot of light workers or people in the spiritual community is that they're in survival mode. No human being on earth can ascend when they're in survival mode, because your base model, your reptilian part of the brain is like, I need food, I need shelter, I got to do whatever I got to do to get this. So your vibration, same thing with being in fear or anger, it drops your frequency, okay? Worry, paranoia, whatever that is, fear, it drops your frequency, and it's very difficult to regain your clarity. So these are just some topics. Like I said, I am not your guru. I'm your brother, Rion. Nice to meet you. I'm just trying to, point some things out because I'm just like you. I'm just at a different stage. And like I said, there are many beings on this planet that are far more advanced than I am. Only thing that I have done that may be a little different is if you guys go to Unite the Collective on YouTube, I have documented every single progression. You can actually watch me evolve on YouTube. Like for 13 years of videos, you can see, oh my God, he was so cute when he was younger or whatever. Oh my God, it's like you when you watch an old video or stuff, you're like, oh man, he didn't know shit. It's I don't know. It's like, you're like 19, like I had to figure it out. Or like, I think I was 29, right, when I woke up. And it's funny because you see yourself and then like, then like when you're the little foot soldier, then I'm sitting here as like the general, 13 years later looking at myself going like, oh man, you didn't know shit. Like, so it's funny. Okay. We're all evolving together. It's okay to make jokes and definitely make fun of yourself because that shows growth and healing. So I don't want to take this into like it's so serious mode. What I want to explain is more like Bruce Lee, be like water, right? Be like water. Go with the flow, but trust your heart first before you trust your mind. Okay, the mind is the trap. Okay, that's all I'd like to say about that.
Yeah, heart and intuition, they take us away from our intuitive state. They want us in our head space instead of our heart space, so that way they can confuse the mind, and then people don't, act out of their intuition. They act out of their fears, out of these crazy thoughts that are going. And Metaversal Miscreant has got a good question.
Yes,
Rion, your thoughts on the lower density childish mockery tactics performed by those who are asleep, semi-awake, or even prominent awakened figures in the arena who belittle others who are the light side?
Okay, here's the deal. I never use names. So here's the thing about being a strong person on Earth. Let's just like let's go ahead and set the table and raise the bar right now. Shall we, Jesse? Here's the thing. A lot of us have gone through a lot of stuff that we don't talk about, in publicly, let's just say. If you really were a superhero, or you really were an X-Men or an X-Woman like some of you guys are out there, I can tell you first and foremost, my family in Sedona, if you were sitting next to us at a campfire in the backyard and you asked one of them who's very gifted, who does missions, hey, did you have a hard time waking up, or what's your backstory? The majority of the time it's, oh, I should have been dead 10 times. Like, it's like the most crazy, like, I got people on my squad that like got hit by lightning. They died. They woke up, their higher self staring at them. I mean, like, it's nuts. So what I'm trying to say is we all go, there's a lot of weird stuff. So this is what I can say about that. The more gifted you are when you get here, the more messed with you are by the Matrix. And what I have found, that's the norm. The more gifted you are to change the earth and to help the collective, you're one of Yeshua's family members, right? You're one of the A team. You're one of the 144. Guess what? Your backstory is going to be filled with weirdness, weird experiences, mainly negative, dealing with a bunch of unconscious population, zombie land stuff, dealing with a lot of agents, red sparrows, whatever it may be for you that kind of try to come in, male and female, mind you, to take you down and put you back to sleep. So what I can say is, ladies and gents, is that the truly gifted ones have the most crazy background stories, and as do I. I'm not going to get into it now, but what I can tell you is that that's the norm. So forgive yourself and just be like, oh, that's how it is on Earth. You're like, yeah, if you're super gifted, talented being that has their DNA is dormant, and all this control system can do is try to keep you asleep before the waking giant wakes up and goes, what is this place and why am I here? And starts standing up, you in your energy form. That's all this place can do, is try to keep you asleep. Once you realize who you really are. And for me, I had to go around the planet, like I said, 9, 10, probably more than that, honestly. I went to all the old activation sites around the planet. I went to all the old pyramids. I'm homies with Sam. I was inside of that pyramid when he was excavating it. I went in Bosnia, the Sun Pyramid. I've been to Egypt. I've been all over the world. It just India. I went to all the places in one of my activations, if you guys want to call it an activation, I was in the tunnels in Easter Island. I flew there with my boy Jason. We had to go and clear out the tunnels in Easter Island. And Easter Island is like one of the most isolated islands on Earth. and it's you just go due south and you're in Antarctica, and yeah, I mean the stuff that I've had to go and clean up. And here's the thing, it's not just work. This is what you realize is like sometimes in the past, many of us from Atlantis and Lemuria, right? We did good and bad things. Okay, I mean, let me just make this like smooth this whole thing out for everyone on Earth. Listen, and in your past lives, you did good things and you did bad things. Okay, fantastic. We all have these things. Okay, so check this out. I had a tab. My tab was paid December 21st, 2012, when I was on the Giza Plateau with 6 other human beings. There was a bomb threat. We didn't know that. The entire plateau was cleared. And for some reason, our guides, I was on a camel, and with my sister, Jay, Linka, and we went through a side gate. We had no idea there was a bomb threat. So I'm out there doing this activation on December 21st, 2012. There's no one there. So imagine my reality on this planet, having woken up, done all this stuff. I'm like, where is everybody? Where are all the light workers? Where's all the light warriors? Like, I've run into a bunch of stuff where I'm like, yo, dude, I thought we were doing this together. Okay, so I've had to go through different experiences than a lot of other people that I had to experience it myself. I guess that's the easiest way for me to say it. Like, when you're looking into my eyes, I've been there and done it for real in the physical. It's not some couch potato shit. It's not, no, it's different when you have to go deal with it yourself. I've been on the backside of Machu Picchu burying something and retrieving something till 4 a.m. With 2 or 3 of my homies, while 2 pumas were about 60 yards behind us, sniffing and moving around while we're throwing rocks at the pumas while we're burying something and picking something up. So again, in the physical. When we walked by the guard gate, this is funny. We come out of the jungle, bro. Backside of Machu Picchu, not supposed to be there. There's a guard gate, right? We came down. It was like the sun is not up. Where it's like 3:30, 4 in the morning. We're coming down the Inca Trail, covered in mud, dude. Just light mud. I think, no, actually, our lights had totally gone out by that time. And we walked by the guard gate, and the guy looks at us, and it looked like 3 just like, I don't know if it was like ghosts or light beings were like, hey, bro, what's up? And he was like, what the? Coming the opposite way, bro. I remember that. That was super cool. But what I'm trying to say is I had to earn some of the gifts I possess. And that's what I'm trying to share with you with some of these stories. You got to go. It's like this game in 3D is like Zelda. Okay? You're not just, Zelda wakes up in the house and he gets the Master Sword. Nah, bro. He had to travel all the way to the center of the Dark Forest, go through all this shit, and then get his sword, right? If you guys remember the video game Zelda. Okay. What I'm getting to is in life, it's the same way. Those who show up are rewarded. And that's the only way I can teach. And that's the only way I can really share. So I think with the discernment with different people out there, you should ask them, hey, what's your background story? How did you learn this? Oh, I channeled it. Well, how did you adapt those channeling things? Do you know who you're channeling? What's your higher self's name? What's their job? What's their occupation? When did you incarnate here? When did you get here? What has your higher self been doing since you've been here? You need to ask some more very specific questions before you take someone's narrative and process it yourself. So here's what I would say as a light worker: smile, process what they're saying with your heart. If it doesn't have that real vibration, like here's the difference in vibration. Check this out. When you see a fight scene in a movie, like John Wick, it's like, hi-ya, and it's like all fancy and awesome, right? Everything's popping off, right? And then that's Hollywood magic, right? When you see a fight break out in an alley behind a bar, it has a completely different vibration. And I know I'm giving you guys like a weird negative experience thing. What I'm trying to say is when you see something real, it's different. So what I'm getting to, ladies and gents, when you're listening or absorbing information, pay attention to who and what the vibration is coming out of those who are saying it. Because here's the thing, the vessel channeling could be absolutely beautiful. I love them. But their higher selves or whatever's punching through to use them like a mouth puppet, pay attention to the frequency, at least in this simple way. Are you salt, light side, or are you pepper? Okay, salt, salt, salt. Here comes a little pepper, manipulation. Salt, salt, salt. Or here comes love, love, love. Here comes a little fear. Salt, 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 love, love, love. So at least if we could do the salt and pepper thing, right? Light and night, I think it would give everyone a better understanding of how to perceive and discern in the collective. That would be my answer, sir.
I know that you do a lot of work in the etheric realms and, with activating on a higher dimension, but I do a lot of that kind of stuff or have throughout my journey in the actual physical. So when you're mentioning bar fights, when things happen, first thing that I do is stand in between all the people I'm with and whatever is going on. And then I tend to gravitate towards the bar fight. And
Right.
sometimes I'll stand like this in between the two people.
Yep.
And they don't know whose side I'm on because they don't know me. So they think I'm with the other person.
Yeah.
And 98% of the time, things just dissipate. And then that bar fight doesn't happen because
There you
they
go.
they think I'm with the other person. They don't want to mess around. So,
Yeah.
I tend to do that a lot to dissipate things, to make sure that, we move on with our days without too much violence or, craziness going on.
Yes. So yeah, and that here's the thing: you went to observer mode, but you also flexed your energy field, and in flexing your light, you transmute some of the things that are popping off around you, so everyone can calm down. And there's many powerful healers out there that do the same thing. They can give someone a hug and totally flip their frequency. So I think this planet needs a lot more love right now than we do a lot more conflict. But here's the thing: to be honest with you. We all signed up for this roller coaster ride, from my family in France and Germany holding it down, all the farmers out there, to all my family out in Texas, right? Holding it down out there and holding it up, I should say. We want the best for this world, and we think that everyone deserves, the best. But here's my thing. We need to dive deeper into the cause and effect of why some of these things are taking place. Instead of like playing chess with the night side, okay, for all these people, this is just an example, okay? For all these people crossing the border in the South, what happened in their home countries, in Venezuela and some of these places, that caused everyone to think it's not safe and leave? Well, I can tell you the cartels took over. That's why. Now, was that a 3-letter agency op to take over this place and create this surge of people and send buses down there? Is it the people crossing the borders' fault? Where is the cause of the action and who is responsible? That's how human beings and us as intelligent beings should think. Well, who's behind the scenes? Who's in charge? How many cartels? My thing is that we could have easily sent a military dispatch, no disrespect, cleaned up the whole place and not had this problem at all. But no, this is a whole program thing that's taking place. I'm watching theater right now. The main thing in watching theater, us as in the audience and participants, is do not allow anyone to take your free will or sovereignty. That's it. Do not let anyone take any of your rights away. That's it. They are just human beings. They have no power over you. And if there is a negative energy behind them that thinks they have the right to do that, let the galactics take care of that. We know exactly who you are. We know exactly where you at all times. We know where your vessels sleep. We know what ships you're on. We know where you're punching in from. There's nothing not known to us. And I think that's should make a lot of beings feel a little more comfortable. We have eyes on all targets right now. There's nothing unknown on this planet. From all the different species here above and below ground, and I don't want to get too real with everyone out there, everything is known right now. So my thing is that it's a choice for us and how we're going to react to certain things, because I know there have been a lot of white hat activity that has stopped a lot of weird shenanigans from taking place on the planet that we don't even know about. So what I'm getting to, I think kind of like we all need to take like a deep breath, trust in our hearts and trust in one another. And remember, we are not each other. We are brothers and sisters on this earth. I never want to think of another human being as an enemy. No, I love everyone. I love your diversity. I love your culture, and I love where you come from. Here's the thing that bugs me. The thing that bugs me are the things that I have been privy to since my third eye turned on. And I can see someone's higher self, and I can see their night side higher self, and I can see when someone's being puppeted around. And it's weird. It's like I can see the elephant in the room. Imagine being like that for the last 10, 13 years. 13, I don't know, it's 2024, right? Yeah, 13 years, right? So what I'm trying to get to is like, it's interesting being an observer. And I think, Jesse, you have a very similar thing, like especially with bar fights or in your own experiences, but us just being here observing it That's the main thing that we can do for one another. Is you guys see something popping off across the planet, call it out. Hey, I don't know what they're telling you in mainstream news, but check out my phone. I'm filming off the balcony. This is what's really going on. You know what I mean? And with the advents of Rumble and some of these different platforms that aren't gonna, and X that aren't gonna, ban your content, right? I think that's how we on the surface, and we as civilians and we as brothers and sisters, can help one another. I never want to point fingers at another human being. What we are here to correct is some of this weird shit that's been left down here after the last flood and mud flood. I would say flood, firestorm, and last mud flood. These energies that have been down here that were never dealt with, they sent in us, starseeds and galactics, to transmute, adjust, and if they can't get it, remove them and pull them off world. I can't tell you how many beings we've bagged and tagged and removed off this planet. It's happening. Now, does a normal civilian know that? No. But what I can tell you is that I see a much brighter future for all of us than I did back in 2009 or 2010. I mean, do you feel that there is a change coming, Jesse? Do you feel the positivity out there? I mean, I can see the difference.
Oh yeah, this last 4 years, I've seen more people become awake and aware than the 30 plus years that I've been kind of doing this. So I've seen a big, massive shift, a massive change. And with what you're saying is, as the observers, it's still our duty and obligation to call out shitty behavior, call out things that we're not seeing. It's good to observe, but if you're not actively, at least calling things out, saying, hey, that's not right, then you're just aligning with that shitty behavior, and so does your energy go that direction as well.
What the reflection I use is when Tiamat blew up, that created our Kuiper belt or the asteroid belt. Check this out. There was decisions made on Tiamat by a very small group of beings that was not the collective decision. Like, I take this thing all the way back to way before, we're refugees, let's just say some of us beings, and this National Geographic planet that no one lived on but animals was inhabited. But this is the thing I want to reflect here right now on Earth. We need to learn that the collective of Tiamat, or the planet that blew up, that by the way was the gem of this entire solar system. It wasn't like, it was the gem of our solar system. Okay, when that was destroyed, the decisions that caused that to be destroyed was made by a very few. It was not made by the whole planet as a collective. And I can tell you something, that I still have memories of that place. I still have emotions from that place. And me being here in a human suit speaking about it, I just want everyone to reference and really think about, we do not need to replicate what we should have learned before in the solar system. Let's take it to the solar system level, right? Okay, cool, we're on Earth and we're humans. No, let's take us to that we're eternal beings that chose to be in a human suit. Let's start there. My thing is that peace, love, prosperity, and a strong defense, right, is going to be in our best interest. And that goes to in a high level of discernment, and never allowing beings like the Majestic 12 with their 1940s brainwave patterning, making deals with the Greys and all this shit, trading for technology like you would show up to a Neanderthal and hand them an iPhone. I don't know why some of us have come here, but I'm here to tell you something. There is a fire inside of us indigos, and there is a fire inside of us angelics that I can't explain to you. But what I can say to all sleeping beings on this planet is there is a higher authority walking among you that wants the best for you. And if you're doing naughty things on this planet, it's not going to be the same incarnation wheel that you're used to. Okay? That's all I'd like to say. When people do naughty things, it's a train to hell. Get on the train to hell, start over again, reattach to another vessel. We are removing you from this planet. That's honestly the truth. For a lot of different species, I don't care what avatar you choose, the Galactics and our upper dimensional family have made it so that this place should be a place of peace, prosperity, and sovereignty. We should become a class 1 civilization. We don't need all these cooks in the kitchen. We need to work together and become the true embodiment of what our true potential is. Not being lied to about who we really are. Not having things hidden from us. We have a breakaway civilization in Antarctica right now with the Germans that broke away in the 1940s, that think they run this planet, bro. Like there really are beings down here that are like Hail Hydra. Like they're that brainwashed right now. And they think that just because they can populate planets outside of this solar system because they were a couple of those scientists figured it out, especially that one scientist who figured out anti-gravitic propulsion by staring at the salmon swimming up the waterfall, how that's impossible. Okay. Well, I forget his name. What I'm getting to is that we're in a lesson plan down here, not like a technology off. There's a lot of very powerful beings down here that are in rehab from things that many beings can't even comprehend, like the Gate Wars. I was in the Orion Gate Wars. I know many of my friends and family are in the Orion Gate Wars. You guys haven't even opened up that Pandora's box to those memories. Okay? I remember things that I should not remember being in a human suit down here. But the one thing I can say is this. I wish in these lives, because everything's happening simultaneously, right? I just wish that we had a little more compromise, a little more second chance, a little more love, a little more appreciation, a little more compassion for one another, because I feel like us together is like the ultimate Marvel, DC, Avengers team up you could ever imagine. Like, what if I told you the whole universe is watching this game, seeing that if a Draconian or a dragon can become friends with a Lyran, and they make a hybrid, for example, which did happen on this planet, by the way, about 250,000 years ago. They did have. Well, who do you think created the Anunnaki? Okay, Anunnaki, or it just means star beings. I'm saying the giants in themselves, the Nephilim, created avatars, okay? What I'm getting to is the coming together is paramount right now, and for us light workers and light bearers and light healers out there, the main thing I can share is to try to find common ground, to not point fingers at one another. There are a lot of very gifted Arcturians, Andromedans, Palladians, Engans, Taigetans, beings from vegans from Vega, right? And Venusians here, right? Val Thor. I don't know what he's been doing. Hopefully he's not parked out at Lake Mead still. But I'm just trying to say there's a lot of really gifted beings out here that want peace. Our potential for future timelines is so insanely awesome. That's why they vie over this library planet so much, and that's where they vie over our potential. All they can do is keep us asleep, but we are the waking lion waking up across the planet of Earth. And for all of us out there, I would just say try to meditate daily, detox that suit, take your vitamins, go work out every day, every other day. Listen, I would work out every other day, but then I would be at the gym, though, at least at night, every night, steaming, in the sauna, meditating, go on a hike, go surfing, go swim, whatever you need to do to really balance thyself. Because with these solar flares and with the sun really cranking, why do you think they're dumping so many chemtrails? We're being activated if we like it or not. So I think that's really something that a lot of people that are sleeping need to really grasp. The planet is evolving underneath your feet. We're just riding on the surface, ladies and gents. If the planet wants to raise its vibration, right, you have a choice. Either ride that vibration up into a new platform, right? Whether it be fourth density Terra or fifth density Gaia, right? We're in 3D Earth, right? But we're not even in 3D Earth right now, right? We're probably on the 4D Terra platform right now. Some of us are already there. So what I'm getting to is you have a choice. If you don't wish to do that, then you're probably going to have to reincarnate and do it again in a new suit that can take the frequency. For us indigos that are here right now, hey, you guys, we're all going to make it, but upgrade yourself, take care of yourself, love yourself, and work on yourself. That's all. I think that was the main download I'd like to share, Jesse, with that.
Amazing. And we have a question from our YouTube channel, and I've put our YouTube channel, we've got over 250 people here watching live with us right now, and a lot of watching on your YouTube. If you can at some point go to the missing link live, subscribe to our channel, say hi in the comments there, just because we're live every day with all kinds of different interviews, and we look to try to connect to as many people as possible.
Right. So dynamic fluid plasma, the firmament, right? So I heard from Gosha that when the Pleiadians, explained to her with the firmament was, here's the story that I heard and I asked my guides about. Check it out. So the Galactic Federation of Light are fighting the Sakaar, which are reptilians, the naughty ones, right? They're fighting the Sakaar. At that time in space, they were both getting their butts whooped. They were both having damaged ships. It was like a war of fruition. Basically, what I heard was that the reptilians crashed on Earth. There were already things here, mind you, before that. I mean, people need to realize there were things here long before the Sakaar showed up, okay? So, this is the story I heard. When the reptilians crashed, the Galactic Federation of Light did not have enough resources, manpower, or courage to finish the job. No disrespect to whoever's there. What I'm getting to, because we're still dealing with it now, that's why I'm a little pissed off about it. Okay, so what happened was, they said, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to drop this, firmament around the planet, and nothing is going to be able to get out unless it can hit a 5th density vibrational thing, unless it has a very specific type of technology, which we're going to monitor. So instead of dealing with the problem, they wrapped a force field around the planet. So these reptilian dudes were forced into our reincarnation cycle. So all of a sudden, we've been down here living La Vida Loca, right? Now we got a bunch of little troublemakers in the incarnation wheel and their energies reincarnating in different suits. Okay, that was one of the stories I heard. Okay, that's all I like to say about that. I don't want to get too into it, but that was apparently, information from Gosha with the Pleiadians. I checked it and it kind of made sense because a lot of the things I hear down here, if you go really more into a galactic battle theology, logistical situation between different spacefaring cultures having experiments going on down here, that makes a lot more sense to me than fairy tale make-believe shit. I can't do it. Like, if you explain to me logically like a general would, we're sitting in a war room and you go, this is what happened. I go, well, that makes sense. Why does everyone think it's this? So what I'm getting with the firmament, I do believe that, we've gone to the moon. I do believe, I think we went to the moon far before what they said we went to the moon in the 60s, mind you. I do think that footage is faked, that they were showing everyone, and how the skies are all blacked out. Yes, I do think that's fake. But I do know that I've always had an issue with the moon. I don't like full moons. I don't like the reflection of all the turds living in that place. That when the sun hits it and that reflected energy hits our planet, everyone goes cuckoo, cuckoo. Okay. I do know that the moon was brought in here as a stabilizing function. Without the moon, we wouldn't have the tides and all this thing. We all know it's a very strange thing that our moon does not rotate, right? It's in a locked orbit. It's very strange. I also know where the bottom, that's confidential. I don't want to say that. I know where that beam is connected to the planet, mind you. There's just a lot of things. Now, with the moon being cleaned up, with different disclosure things happening, cool. What I kind of want is I'm tired of the air brakes on this planet. I'm tired of beings, off-world, on-world, sitting in the Jupiter space station thinking that everyone down here is, is like special sauce. Like we're a bunch of Cro-Magnon men running around in circles. I have a lot of attitude towards beings that think that we don't belong in these council meetings. And I understand that a lot of weird stuff has happened to us. But I also understand there is technology that exists in inner Earth and on these Pleiadian ships that can actually rewire, reprogram, and reflush all that weird experiences that we had right off of us. As some of these spaceships you enter, especially in Dreamtime, they put you through a nano scanner right when you enter the ship. They scan your entire body for nanotechnology before you're even allowed on the ship. So I think there's a lot of facets going on with us. With this AI stuff, with this nanotechnology stuff, what's really in the chemtrails, what's really in the food, what's really in the water, what are they really trying to do with these smart meters and the 5G and the 6G? There's a lot of artificial containers trying to contain the energy and purity and source energy, which we truly are. And all I can say to everyone out there across the planet is I don't agree with any decision that takes away from my sovereignty, my free will, or my ability to love. And anyone who follows any other program than that, I would really honestly check your belief system, because there's something inside of you that's puppeting you around that wants you to remain an unconscious puppet that they can walk around and experience, this 3D with. I want us to be full-blown multidimensional beings, regain our birthright, step into our power, learn to love and respect one another again, and get this entire planet back up to where it's supposed to be and where it was before, which is a class 1 civilization. Not compartmentalized with a handful of us being able to interact with our star brothers, but the entire civilian world. Okay? That's how I feel. So.
Someone asked, who is Tiamat? So maybe you can explain that it's a planet.
It was a planet that blew up. I mean, some people call it Maldek. I don't know. I like Tiamat better than Maldek. I'm not really a huge fan of Marduk and what he did down here. I think I've had beef with Marduk for quite some time. I do know that one of my aspects is one of Anu's kids. I do know that I can speak Anunnaki. People channel beings, like it's different being plugged into one 24 hours a day, 365. I also have other aspects which I'm very aware of. My Palladians, my Lyrans, my Arcturians, my Andromedan, right? My Sifu, right? It's just how much of your consciousness do you want to open up and how much of that dormant DNA do you wish to activate? And I say, look, ladies and gents, don't, be hard on yourself. Do what you can. But what I can say is for all of us that want to go on these yearly vacations and just spend money and go to the club, and these 20-year-olds watching me, listen, it would serve you a lot better to buy a cheap ticket on cheaptickets.com. Go stay in a hostel for 5 days. Go to Egypt, pick up your downloads. Go to Machu Picchu, pick up your downloads. Go to some of these temples. Go to for all you beautiful goddesses out there, go to the south of France, right? Go to the Mary Magdalene caves. I wish I could direct people, and I am, and to go explore this world. And ladies and gentlemen, you will find that even in the United States is some of the most propagandized stuff. I mean, we could say China has a lot of propaganda. United States is insane, bro, because we create all the, 80% of everything put on a television, right? So what I'm getting to is like, once you step out and see another culture, see how they live, see their belief systems. Like I never knew the whole story about, Pamase Bama and Doji Drolo. And until I went to Bhutan, baby. And I went up in Tiger's Nest and I chilled there in Buddha's little temple. And there's a huge hole in the floor in this temple. And you can hear the wind come in and out and it sounds like a tiger. I wanted to sleep in there. I was trying to pay. I'm like, can I sleep here overnight when all you monks leave? Like I need to be alone. There's some temples in Egypt. I want to be there at night when all the humans are gone. I'm like, okay, can I fully expand and hang out with my homies again? Like I'm in a place right now in my space, and I'm just giving you guys a heads up. Like, where does your activations go? You eventually get to a place where you remember who you are, and you just want to hang out with your friends. And I know it seems really simple. It is. It's like, yo, bro, what's up? How long was I under for? 40 years, bro. Or whatever it is. You're like, oh, shit, I was unconscious for what the? They're like, bro, like, I don't know. Like, we need to. Yep, I got higher selves like, we didn't even know you were going to make the cut, bro. And you're like, what the? So what I'm trying to get to, everyone needs to experience real shit. Go see the world. You can't activate your DNA sitting on the couch. And everyone, I've tried to explain this to people. I'm like, listen, you could get on an airplane, fly to the temple, and go highest light, give me the full download. I'm not going to be able to process it now, but give me my full DNA download right now from this temple, and then I'll fly home and process it. Okay, listen, you go to Egypt, you go to the Valley of the Kings, you go to these different parts there, you get your downloads. Come home. It took me a year and a half to download Egypt and process it, right? What I'm getting to is, or you could sit on the couch and it could take you 45 years sending bits of energy back and forth, bit by bit. Get on an airplane, go get your downloads. And then eventually you do it 3 or 4 times and you'll go, oh my God, this is what Rion was talking about. He can't explain in words what it feels like when the universe wants you to wake up. I can't. I can just give you guys little bits and pieces. You know what I mean? I can't wake you up. I can't give you the downloads that are your specific frequency downloads that your higher selves cannot wait to give you. That's your higher self's job. So I say everyone out there, following gurus and, channelers and all this stuff, always remember your higher selves are your true teachers. right? And your inner child is your true teacher, right? So I kind of keep it really simple there, that we can help each other, point you in a right direction, but no one can actually force you to wake up unless you choose. You can lead a horse to water, but I can't make you drink. You can't make it drink. So I just kind of reference that. That's all I wanted to say about it.
Yeah, you are your own best healer. You are
Yes.
your own best guide. You are your own best teacher. You're your own best guru. You can get advice. You can listen to what others say, but you have to do the work yourself in order to, transcend to that, higher level. No one can do that for you. Here's a question from David Ferdinand, and we recently had him here on The Missing Link. Beautiful soul. He lives with his wife on their own little private island off of Brazil.
I think it's black. I think all the full color spectrum put in. I mean, I would say there's two answers. I would say black or this pure white. With that answer, I've heard that the all the colors in the spectrum, like deep space, it holds all the things. But again, this is what everyone needs to really understand. The human eyeball can only see at a small fraction of the light, vibration, and bandwidth that's available in the universe. I'm talking about this much is what your iris can see. Here is the universe. You can see this much. So even that question in itself, at what level of perception are you viewing it at? What vibration, what density? I think that would be it's a more scientific question than just what color do you see. It's like there's 15 facets to that question. Okay, that's all I'd like to say about that.
I love your background and very nice, and the baby Yoda, love it, brother.
Oh, Grogu, yeah, dude, that's my boy. Like, I'm trying to remind you guys, like, hey man, I'm a light warrior that found his heart. I'm like the Mandalorian in a blazer. I'm like I will pop you. Like, don't think that if you mess with Grogu, you're gonna get it. And for all my fellow Star Wars fans out there, you don't mess with Grogu. I call him my little baby Yodi, but don't mess with him, okay?
Metaversal Miscreant says, Rion, thoughts on the biblical narrative regarding the end times? Are we in the times of Revelation?
I got it. Check this out. When the
Millennium-
Nephilim... I know I got this. Okay, this is... You want to know the real shit? You want to know the real? Here it is. When the flood happened, there are a lot of pissed off Nephilim that went underground. Just as if, I'll make this same analogy to you. If any of you guys have broken up with someone, say you broke up with your girlfriend or your boyfriend from, 7 years ago, right? 6 years ago. You get in the car, you're like, oh, okay, let's go hang out. You get in the car with your ex-girlfriend, boyfriend, and you go get a Starbucks. And you guys are sitting there having a coffee. And this is the craziest thing you'll notice, is that your ex-partner or whoever this is will bring up the last fight you guys had the last time you guys were together. And you're like, whoa, like, what are you talking about? You're like, you remember when you said, you remember when this happened? I can't believe it. Okay, now let me tie this together. I have to do the comedy because it's a very, sticky situation. Okay, so what happened is that being, that consciousness, the last time it was in your presence, this was what the issue was when you guys were together, working on something, interacting, existing. With a lot of these stories or narratives that these beings are following, I personally believe that they are trying to follow something, a prophecy, based upon the last time there was a flood. And for whatever reason, and this is like a personal thing, I'll tell you what I think it is. There were a lot of giants, Nephilim, creatures down here that were created that perished in that deal. And there was a lot of beings that, a very small amount of those beings, escaped to inner earth. Okay? Giants, right? Which is just a human form. By the way, people say giants. It's like, no, if your pituitary gland was more like a fish and you never stopped growing, I would be like 16 feet tall right now. But in our human suit, it shuts off, okay? They're not giants, dude. They're us with the pituitary gland that they grow 2 inches every year. Okay, so knock off all that jazz. I'd be like 6'50", 17 and a half feet, just gain, son. So, okay, it's a giant. No, dude, your pituitary gland doesn't shut off. Okay, anyways, so take all the magic and mystery out of this shit. I think that somewhere with this reptilian narrative, with the all roads lead to the pirates in Rome, and with Constantine, again, Roman, and changing all these stories, right? People don't want to talk about that there were giants in those militaries in Rome and in Carthage. It was not normal-sized human beings that we see today. What I'm getting to, I think there's a narrative that they're trying to follow that is an old world narrative that they wish in their belief system to see fulfilled based upon their specific bloodlines and belief system. And I believe that that narrative is bumping into a bunch of star seeds that they didn't know were going to show up. Like, here's your narrative. Like, I saw the earth was going to evolve and what was going to happen. You're talking about a story from, I think they changed the dates. We know that. And they changed the years. I think by 1,000 years, mind you. Whenever these stories were written, I think they're trying to make a cyclical story that serves their particular motivation and are trying to manipulate the entire collective consciousness to believe in something that was really written by a group of pissed off beings that lost a war, which happens in many different civilizations. That's how I feel about it.
We have London McLovin, another YouTube broadcaster from England. He was asking if you know that Cairo is aligned with Mars, I believe he said. Maybe the pyramid in Cairo. Does it have? And when you mentioned the Egypt, I want to really go to the Egyptian pyramids and into Egypt. So
hey, bro, when you go, call me. I'll tell you all the hot spots to hit.
Maybe we'll go together.
That would be cool. I actually have some friends that would like to go. Maybe we should do hey, you guys want to go to Egypt? I don't know. Listen. Look, for everyone out there that's new that maybe not doesn't know me, and for all obviously all my family in the comments, I love you. I'm just your brother that's seen some stuff and processed some stuff that many haven't. And many sleepless nights asking my guides, here's the information. Many process nights. I mean, talking about shaking like a salt shaker and then having to see things and other beings showing up and giving their interpretation. I'm just here to share a different narrative that actually kind of makes a lot more sense when you hear it, but in the way I'm expressing it, right? With jokes and funny things. But really, I'm trying to find a solution to all of this rhetoric without all of us being led off a cliff. Like, that's all this is for me. And I just want to kind of express, I'm not trying to say, oh, he's a know-it-all. No. All I'm trying to say is that I've heard many different stories from many different beings on how this place has been warred over for a long time. And different species and different groups have different motivations for being here, okay? And everyone, it's like that everybody wants to rule the world. It's not run the world unless you're from that other matrix. Everyone wants a shot at the title to run the surface. So what I'm trying to get to, ladies and gents, is this place was supposed to be a sandals resort that we all get to hang out at and have a great time in this beautiful planet. It was never meant to be run by any one species. And that's what's difficult for a lot of upper dimensional beings and species that have had their time here. Their time is up. Okay? You got to move out of the way now. Other beings that outrank you are now incarnating. And I think that's really what this is. There have been high-ranking nightside beings that have been exiled off this planet. Yet the brotherhoods or sisterhoods or whatever's still down here are running echo programs. And the beings at the head of these organizations, right, they know their elder or their leader is gone, but they're still running it in the front office. The back office, there's no one sitting in the chair. In the front office, they got all these, you know what I'm talking about with these groups. Oh, and you ask, who's in the back office? Oh, no, we don't go into the back office. Well, in the front office, where all these guys in the robes and the hoods are trying to do shit, their bosses are gone. And it's really difficult for people to grasp that have been in these groups for thousands of years. Your leadership is off-world. So I'm just trying to, again, express some things because these eyes are staring and looking at you as you look at me. I'm trying to express this world deserves a better shot at freedom, prosperity, and sovereignty. And I'm not going to end love. So I'm saying, and you guys know exactly, you guys can hit the freaking content on the comments. You know exactly who and what I'm speaking about. This Black Order, the Midnight Sun, the da-da-da-da-da-da-da, right? The Boulets, the groups, the Naughties. What I'm getting to is what these guys don't realize is your leadership is no longer even on the planet. Okay? But how do you tell someone that when they have trillions of dollars worth of assets and they're trying to keep this illusion going? That's what's going on right now. So
The false matrix illusion that, a lot of people.
why do you
because
think
of
it's collapsing?
Stockholm syndrome keeps people defending something that's so false, and it's really, pulling people and pulling relationships into different directions.
Yep, that's all they know how to do because that's what they've been doing, and that's what their daddy did, and that's what their grandpappy did, and their great grandpappy. They don't realize that the paradigm of the entire surface of this world is changing. And may remind everyone on the planet this very constant truth, right? One of the truths in the universe is change. Change is a universal truth. Everything changes in the universe, right? Cause and effect and change. So I think many of us down here are operators of that change, and we're the emissaries of change here to make sure we monitor this planet and give everyone the best opportunity and narrative to make their own choice on what they want to do with their time and experience here. Anyone else who kind of steers off that, you have to really question what their motivation is. That's all.
Taffy says, I deleted my other comment. What is he said? The Black Order of the Black Sun? What did
Black
he mean
Order
by that?
of the Midnight Sun. Look it up. It's a brotherhood that knows about the second sun and Wonka Wonka Tonka. There's a lot. Listen, this is how it was explained to me, which is older than these organizations. When I woke up in my backyard, March 16th, 2009, I had a monk with the red robes on staring at me. He's standing on the roof. My third eye turns on. I look up, and there's a monk with red robes on. Now, the red robe monk was supposed to be a part of monitoring the surface of the planet. Okay. Now, the monks in the golden robes were monks from inner Earth. So if you have memories of being a monk and you got the golden robe on, okay, I'm not talking about the kids in Thailand wearing gold. I'm talking about a real monk from inner Earth, right? Inner Earth, right? So the Hermes staff, when you see the Hermes staff and you got the two snakes going different directions and the eagle on top, okay? So one snake going up was the surface, monks in the red robes. They're also a term from them in the Western world would be the Illuminati, but not how in the Western world uses it. That's why I'm doing the Asian version. Red robes was monitoring the surface. Snake going down was monitoring inner Earth. And the eagle that sits on top was our galactic family, which monitors this whole planet. Okay? When some of us incarnate who are part of the eagle or bird tribe, we're not here to pick sides in this game. We're here to let everyone know, hey, it's the end of a cycle. The Kali Yuga is ending. It's time for the Golden Age. Get to it. We're here to monitor not only the beings on the surface, but your higher selves. For example, what's your fourth dimensional version been doing this whole time you've been in a suit? What's your 5D version been doing this whole time you've been in a suit? What's your 6D version been doing this whole time you've been in a suit? We're here to monitor the entire platform of the multidimensional nature of the universe. So I'm expressing this to you because some of your higher selves have this job that you may not be aware of. That's all I'm trying to say. Some of you guys have these jobs as hall room monitors, and you maybe just be waking up to, whoa, I'm here to monitor this entire thing. They're like, yeah, you're recording everything. I record every single being I come in contact with, every single interaction in the astral and in the spiritual plane. Every single time a being contacts me, it's recorded, right? So what I'm trying to express is for everyone on Earth to just know, it's like, no, I'm not. It's like being an undercover DEA agent for the Galactic Fed, or for, I like to say Earth Alliance. I'm here to monitor everything. And the point is we need to know as, upper dimensional beings or some of the beings from the galactic center who rarely get out to this part of the galaxy out here in the boondocks is we want to know what you guys need to ascend, what you guys are working on, who needs to be adjusted. I mean, think about it like a spot check. Some of us incarnated as a spot check for this planet, and you may be one of us. I'm here to help everyone just assist. And what do we need to help them? More love. Maybe we need some med beds. Maybe we need some more abundance. How do we balance the equation? So what I like to say to everyone on the earth is, it's like, how can we come together and mend what we've gone through, these traumatic experiences that are still going on the planet? How can we come together and mend these things in the most dynamic and efficient way possible? Because that's all I'd like to say about that,
Now, do you think that there are beings here that have incarnated that are soulless, that can't repent and do better, be better? Maybe they were born into some bloodline families that maybe have been doing some horrific things. I know that people have like a thirst. We need to kill them and get rid of them, but that's kind of becoming them to replace them. And how do you see this happening to the ones that maybe still want to hold on to that war mentality for the rest of the collective that just wants to ascend and be love and do better every day?
Can you click on Station Pizza? I have something to say. Dude said med beds, laugh out loud. I need you to click on that. Check this out, Stationary Pizza. I've seen videos of billionaires walking into a room. Someone is filming with a camera as they're being talked into a $25,000 ride to get in this med bed for an age reversal and a frequency switch. This shit is 100,000% real. So real, I sent that video to Cosmic, my boy Emery Smith, the host of Cosmic Disclosure. The guy called me at 4 a.m. So no, med beds are absolutely 100,000% real. The reason why it might seem a joke to you is because the advent of some of the real technology that's been hidden from the civilian world they've had this stuff for 50 years. Solar Warden's been around for 80 years. So what I'm getting to, this is the type of stuff that I want to pay attention to and kind of course correct some of these people. Med beds 100,000% exist on this planet. So you'll see that come out in the future. And just as you can see some of my other videos as I go back in time, watch and listen to the words I say. Every single thing I've said is dead on. I'm right over the target. To a degree, they've had to monitor me since I woke up on this planet in 2009 to make sure, oh no, don't let this guy out into the collective. Don't let him teach how to wake people's third eyes up. Yeah, I've been used to it. But what I'm getting to, there are real things out there and there is real technologies out there that people need to realize and understand. That's all I like to say about that.
Metaversal asking your thoughts on TLS. Are they legit?
It's funny you say that. Why you guys gotta put me on blast, bro? It's like, is TLS legit? Is TLS legit? Oh man. Here's what I can say about TLS. First of all, it would have been nice if I had a budget, because I've been and done a lot of things on a shoestring budget. I didn't know there was a bunch of beings in New Jersey that, fly you around. That's interesting. Is it a psyop? I'm going to say no, just because I don't want to ruffle too many feathers of beings that do monitor some of the actions that go on. I can say is that some of the tutelage that was shared by Shirka and that other gentleman he interviews, I did resonate with. Is there an organization of very, specialized beings that are the unseen, that sit behind the scenes and do things? Absolutely. Is there a reason why certain information is what I really agreed about when the one guy's interviewing, I forget, it's all like, mumbo jumbo name, but that gentleman, right, when he started talking about how he felt like, why can't we just go in there and take care of this? I resonated with that dude on a very deep level, because I've definitely, and as many of us light workers and light healers have said, we felt the same exact way. Why can't, if we have the potential and the abilities to go in there and just take care of these dudes, why aren't we doing it? Why do we have to wait till they make a move? When you go into that place, then you realize that we're playing a game of chess, and we're playing a game of polarity, and we're playing a game of choice. And there are upper dimensional galactic negotiations and higher level things going on above this screen that are dictating what's happening on the surface. So I think TLS is legit to a certain degree, but I also see I don't want to. I don't want to
We'll
hit.
leave it there.
I don't want to hit. I don't want to hit it out of the park with it. You know, like I could say it, but I don't want to hit out of the park. Here's what I could say. I appreciate Shirka and I appreciate that gentleman for sharing information to the planet in a positive way, and I appreciate if TLS, the light system, fellow white hats out there, is sharing information, that we share information that is to the betterment of humankind and man and womankind and the entire planet. So I support anyone who wants to make this place a better world. How does that sound?
Sounds awesome.
Okay.
I'm in alignment with that as well. Freedom Grower from our YouTube channel. He's a YouTuber, farmer, as well as he's a potter, and he's wondering how much does art play a role in our ascension?
100% art and your creativity is directly a part of your ascension, because that is how you're expressing yourself in the physical plane. It could be music, creating music, dancing, painting. Some people's gardens are their artwork, right? However you wish to express yourself in the physical plane, yes, is definitely a part of your ascension, because that is what brings you happiness and bliss. And believe me, you can ask yourself this question right now: are you a better, farmer than you were last year, right? Or the year before that, or the year before that? How beautiful are your flowers or your plants this year? And what have you learned about the nitrogen levels and how to grow certain things at different speeds? So what I'm trying to say is that you're evolving in your own knowingness, right? While working with the earth and getting all those downloads from the planet, or uploads, I should say. Yes, I definitely think art is a huge part of ascension. Yes.
Here we have a question from Taffy from our Facebook. Have you experienced any trust rules personally? Why do you believe in what you believe in? Have you any testimonies to share? And then, or is it just meditation and all arm research and knowledge? What are your experiences with all the stuff?
First and foremost, I guess I was very lucky when I taught myself. You guys can all go to Unite the Collective right now and go to the first video I loaded, which is the candle technique. Listen to me speak in that video. How I speak, it may be how a lot of people speak when they first wake up or they're just curious. Listen to how I explain it. Watch that video, activate your third eye, work on it. It took me about 8-9 months going through that wormhole to finally, turn that third eye on. And what I didn't realize was, when I was going down the red wormhole and I was burrowing, right? Check this out. When I was going down that wormhole, if you guys have seen the video and I'm explaining it, I didn't realize I was actually burrowing an energetic hole through my right through the front of my forehead. Energetically, I kept moving and going down this wormhole and whatnot. So just watch the video. So what I can say is this: experience. I don't like to share things that I don't have personal experiences with, even when I hear things. Like I said, I share everyone's information. Like, hey, Gosha, give her credit for it. Then I say, hey, I asked the same question to my guides about what she was saying, and they said, yeah, that some of that checks out, or 80% of that checks out. And I go, oh, okay. So what I guess I should say is, breathe in the information, process it yourself, use your own discernment, kick it back out. But I can tell you that my daily discipline of going to the gym, working out, and meditation, and health, diet, sun charging, all of that stuff is all a part of it. So I would say to take a more active pursuit, it could be yoga, body work, breath work. Take a more active pursuit in developing your own skill sets and abilities while you're wearing the suit and experiencing the physical.
Here's another question from your YouTube channel. Uploads. Rion, can you expand on what that is?
Oh, very simple. When I am down here in the physical plane and I upload information to my higher selves, it's going this direction. That's an upload. Okay. When I'm sitting in my pyramids, and this is 12 feet in the air, and I'm sitting there meditating in the morning with my morning tea or coffee, I am sending an upload to the upper dimensions or my higher selves. Download is when information comes from your higher selves or the collective or source down your stream or down to your crown, right? Download. Upload, you're speaking out to the universe, asking questions. Download, you're pulling it down. Hope that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. Freedom Grower is asking, how about sexual energy? How does Rion view sexual energy as part of the process?
Using your sacral, not sexual, 'cause it's just part of it, but using your sacral for communication. I believe it's very important for the creative process. I also believe that men and women need to be selective with who they share that energy with, because you can take on attachments from other people energetically. And for some people that have really gnarly attachments, negative attachments, they can jump from one person to the other. So I would say to use your creative ability and use your sacral in the way it was designed, which is, to create beautiful things and whatnot, but to not, overuse that gift in a way that causes more confusion and pain and suffering.
And with what we're saying, exactly right. Everybody leaves an energetic footprint on the people, even if you get into their auric field, and even more if you are going to get into that sacral energy. That's a real bonded energetic footprint that you want to make sure that you're leaving your footprint in the right place, and as well as any other footprints, you want to make sure that you're not just connecting with any energetic footprint, especially with people that may have not have done the work, or maybe have some darker attachments to them that may attach to you because of that.
100%. No, that it's definitely true. And it's not just like, remember, you're braiding when you're with someone and that Kundalini energy starts cranking. You're winding and weaving your energy with someone else. So properly, it goes like this, right? And you can even create a battery of energy, right? And that's how Pamasay Baba and his lady back in the day went rainbow body. So it's an engine. You can take a male and a female and create that engine to assist. And like I said, there's everyone has different choices out there on the planet. I love you, whatever that may be for you. But back in the day, that was one of the things you could do to activate your Kundalini energy. Go ahead.
And so here on the Missing Link, we like to add the audience participation as much as possible. Any good questions we like to ask. It's kind of maybe a little bit of a different format than most. We have Metaversal Michigan says, Rion, I want to say thank you for all the time responding to his questions. Your thoughts on Corey Good's court deposition and the optics about the fabricated stories. And we have had Corey Good on here about maybe a year and a half ago. Last time Rion was on here was a year and 4 months ago. So super happy to have you back, brother.
I've met Corey. I like Corey. How do I feel as a brother? He's a cool dude. Did some of his stories open my mind to things to question that maybe I'd never heard before? Yes. The court depositions, I believe his take on it was that he had to say to keep ownership of the footage on a more of a screenplay, or as a writer would, to own their content. He said he made it up so that he could, I guess, own the content of what he was saying. I believe that's what, and just kind of what he was saying. Do I feel some of the information Corey shared was accurate? Yes. Do I feel that some of the information may have been exaggerated? Possibly, yes. Do I feel that a lot of the beings that sometimes have these memories are just describing things that happen in the fourth dimension to the sixth dimension, and they're trying to say it's happening in the physical? Yes. That would be my answer.
Do you see any of him having any attachments to maybe 3-letter agencies or anything? Because, I got, a lot of intel coming in after I interviewed him from a lot of different directions. Not sure which just came from personal or which came from thing, but do you see that at all?
Yeah. I mean, one of the main reasons why Dicinian glass is still classified how to make it and where it came from. And Dicinian glass are those that the blue hue or the blue lens that removes all of the white light, I believe, from the color spectrum, is because you can see if someone is ensouled or if there's a vessel walking around with a dark energy in it with no soul in it. I think that having a more reflective way in which we can observe, like imagine if we had these blue sunglasses, Dicinian glasses, and I had 100,000 of them made or 1 million of them made in Taiwan at a sunglass manufacturer, and I sent them out to every single light worker in every single town and village across the planet. And I said, hey, put the sunglasses on, call out any unensouled beings and film them and get their facial ID and know exactly who they are. Do you know how fast we could find these people on this planet? Do you have any idea how fast we could remove all these beings? Information's out there. Dicenian glass is still a classified covert thing made out of coal tar. I just think that it depends how you use the information and how you discern the information and what you do with it. So that's what I would say about unensouled. My thing is that I don't want to point fingers at anyone who's sold or unensouled, but this is what I can say. We have to view any being interacting with us as what are the actions they are trying to carry out. If we had unensouled beings down here that weren't trying to hurt no one, manipulate anyone, or just trying to experience and have a great 3D experience on a little remote control camera, fantastic. As soon as you have unensouled beings trying to tell us what to do, we have a serious problem.
And Pardon SS says, can't decide whether to read or listen too much for my ADD.
Yeah.
We've got
listen,
like two.
With that, brother, I think I'm cooked. I think that you're an hour and 21. I love you. Look, Commander Kickass, is my call sign. If you need me upstairs, call him Commander Kickass or Rion. Thank you, my bro Andy, that made this. You guys, if you want to come see more of me and my beautiful family, powerful family, come out to Bastrop April 7th, April 8th, 2024. The tickets are right at the top of my thing, teamlightstore.com/events. We have a bunch of amazing speakers. Tony Rodriguez from the Secret Space Program is going to be there. Olson, Brad, he's going to talk about the Giants. I got Binks talking about Tartaria. I have, or I should say, we have a DJ party and astrological insights from David Palmer, the Leo King. We also have insights from Rich Lopp. Mastering the Heart with Barbara Hudak. We have Nate Zeleznik teaching you guys Jedi techniques only learned or taught by Indonesian kings in their bloodline. We'll be teaching you guys energetics. We have the best sound bath healer while the eclipse is happening. Going on in Bastrop, I have the #1 sound healer from Austin giving us a sound bath while the solar event is taking place. And we have those NASA certified glasses for everyone out there questioning when you can look at it. Yes, we provide glasses and it's catered. I don't know. I don't know what else I can do for you guys. We are at 98.6% perfect on the bullseye. The reason why we're having this solar activation is as follows. That 4.5 minutes where the electromagnetic field is resetting on planet Earth, I want every single powerful light worker, light warrior, light healer on the planet to implement their programming into what this world should be, since this is the last solar eclipse over North America for the next 20 years. We will not see another one of these over North America till 2044. So anyone out there in your audience that wants to come hang out, that actually wants to show up and feel the vibration that we bring, right? Some of these little trolls might just shake out and glitch out, But for all the real ones out there, you know who you are that don't have fake cartoon pictures. We know who you are. Show up. There's a lot of things that we want to share. We love you guys. And that's all I'd like to say. I love you guys very, very much. Come hang out in person, bruh. That's what's up. You guys want to get activated? Come hang out in person. Brother Jesse, you're invited with your beautiful partner, your lady. You know that. Yeah. And I'd love to see you guys out there in Bastrop, Texas, April 7th, April 8th. Tickets are right there on my screen, teamlightstore.com/events. Come kick it. All right.
Awesome. We love you, brother. And thank you for the invite. We'll see if we can make it work. We were thinking about going to Arizona around that time because I saw that's where the X was. We have some friends there. So again, Arizona, Texas, if we can make it down there at that time, we would love to come hang out with you.
Yes.
And any of your people. We have around 300 people watching here live with us right now.
Oh, my family is fire. And listen, for all the guys that usually watch Jesse, check this out. In the comments, if you guys just put Team Light, all my people, if you guys have questions about your ascension, some of the audience, some of my family are some of the most educated, spiritually mastered beings on Earth. And they're sitting in the comments bar on the right-hand side. So if you have a question about spirituality, breath work, detoxing, my family right here that's in these comments, for all those people that are maybe in Jesse's crowd, ask our family here at Team Light questions. We are here to help one another. Okay, so I just want you to know that I love my family and we crush together. With that, my brother, I'm gonna sign off and get some breakfast. I love you, bro.
Last thing though,
Yes,
thank you for the hat and
yes,
people teamlight.com products, teamlightstore.com. You
yes.
have a bunch of different stuff that you can find
Oh, we
crystals,
have
hats, and
everything from pyramids that go over your bed or for outside. Like I said, these all have PEMF coils in them. You can run 528 hertz through the pyramid or through your whole house. I have all kinds of different light tools. You guys check out the teamlightstore.com. It's insane. I got rings. We got necklaces to protect you. We have bed sets to grid your bedroom, protect you. We have things to shield you from the 5G and the smart meters. Check that out. All the EMF stuff. We even have, look, we even have little baby Grogu's made out of crystal. Look. We can't even see this guy. Let me see if the proof. Look, we got little, little Grow-Grows. I got shungite for your water systems. You guys, this is elite shungite. Okay, the elite shungite, all you got to do if you have a 5-gallon reservoir, that's why it's flat on one side, put this in your reservoir and then, fill it up like your normal with your 5-gallon things of water. Everything we try to do here in Team Light is help our family, hook up our family. And if you're new, listen, I get it. You never seen me before. You got a lot of questions. There's a lot of snake oil salesmen out there. When you look at my face, I'm trying to tell you I'm one of the real ones. And I love you. Stick with us. We're only going straight up. And with that, ladies and gents, I'm going to sign out. Jesse, it's been an absolute pleasure, my brother.
thank you so much. Thank you everybody for all your likes, comments, hearts, shares, and stars. May the source be with you, Rion,
Yes.
and all that you do. Protection all around you through this wild, pivotal time in history. Love you, man, and look forward to giving you a big hug one day.
Hey, come out and give me a hug, Jesse. I love you. Okay?
Okay.
Peace.
Peace. And anybody that's here from, Rion's channels, YouTube channels, we're the Missing Link Live. We're the Missing Link Live on YouTube. Check it out. Subscribe to our channel. We interview people every day, all kinds of people from every single different walk of life. Next week, we have Tony Lyons. He's an author, a publisher. We've also got Thomas Bain from Alpha Mega Energy. He's going to talk about, the stuff, the benzene that they're putting into a lot of the products that is poisoning people with. On Tuesday, we've got Svetlana Dalalana. On Wednesday, we've got Svetlana Maximova. On Thursday, we've got kind of like an awakened rapper, Christian Capulant Short. He's going to come share his. Maybe we'll play some of his music. And then on Friday, we've got Guy Williams. He's going to talk about, the people what's happening in Gaza and, the people that are kind of collectively doing this around the world. So he goes hard in on them. I'd love to meet you and your lady, Jessie. Yeah, that'd be great. We hope to come down there. So please subscribe to our channels. Our Rumble channel is Team Missing Link. May the source be with y'all. Thank you for all your likes, comments, hearts, shares, and stars. We appreciate all of your love and support. Is there any way to send a confidential email message? Yeah, you can email me. I guess you'll have to find that email. I don't really share it publicly because of how many emails I already get, but yeah, maybe I can put it into the comments there and then I'll just delete it afterwards. So just stick by the comment in Rumble and you can email me your message. So thanks again. May the source be with y'all. Knowledge is power. The more knowledge we all have collectively, the less power they have over us. So just try to be a little bit better today than you were yesterday and work on yourself, to go within is, the way we get out of all this. So love y'all. We'll see you next week back here on the Missing Link.